Welcome back to John Gibbons here with Dan Morgan, and we're here to bring you today's LFC news, and obviously that involves looking back to the game last night. Dan, they finally won a friendly.
I know, yeah.
Pyro and yours.
Pyro, great at all. Yeah, much improved, wasn't it? Better performance from Liverpool, much like the old Liverpool, I thought. And a lot of positives to take into Sunday.
Yeah, I was pleased to see how many players come back. Obviously, the lads came back to training on Monday, but I wasn't necessarily expecting them all to feature or to feature so much. You know, the likes of Firmino, Salah, and Keita and Shaqiri as well, who've sort of been a bit forgotten, really, you know, with all the talk of the front three. But nice to see Keita and Shaqiri back starting. Both contributed to that first goal really well, and I thought generally speaking our intensity was better, and they were, as you say, more like the old Liverpool, winning the ball high up the pitch. Keita won it for the first goal, and then it's a sharp ball into the box, and just better purpose about our all-round play.
Yeah, I mean, I was more expecting them to get the end of the game as opposed to the start, all of them. But seeing them all from the beginning maybe gives you a little insight into Sunday, in that he might want them from the beginning there. He might want them getting used to that intensity from the off, and also says a lot about how they've kept themselves in shape during the off-season, which is no surprise anymore with you know, modern-day elite footballers. But you know, they seem good to go, and I thought they were sharp, but also just the way in which they set the tone for Liverpool's shape. I mean, we've seen how ragged we've been in the past few friendlies in the tour and against Napoli, but we were much more compact. We were pressing better. You know, we were what Salah and Firmino give us in terms of everyone else taking their line from them is, you know, it's fundamental to this team. And I think in many ways put your mind at ease quite a bit, you know, because you see a Liverpool side without the front three, and you see how much it's just kind of broken. And I know it's pre-season, I know there's loads of caveats, but at the same time, like I said, you get to see what Liverpool are about again last night, and you know, it almost eases you a bit going into the new season, doesn't it?
And it's easier for the young players then, isn't it, as well? Because there's a few young players who've impressed generally this season, but if the stars are shining, if you like, then they just need to add to it, and that's much easier, isn't it, than thinking, oh, we need to make something happen here. And I thought, you know, the likes of Hoover, Larouci, you know, played really well, and then obviously Harvey Elliott, little cameo as well. Yeah,
Hoover and Larouci, I mean, we're constantly getting told to join. You know, Van Dijk does it to Robertson and Trent in league games. He's constantly go. But they were getting told where to be all the time. And then you see that little triangle emerge mid first half with Milner, Salah, and Hoover, and the two of them, because it's quite quiet in the ground. You just hearing the ball on him through a game, and that must do wonders for him even at this stage. You know, that experience, and I think Adam Lewis talks about it after the game. That experience of being around the players who were playing 50, 60 games a season, you know, world stars, it's priceless for a young player. And I loved how, like I said, it felt very much like those two pros really looked after Hoover last night, and I thought he was really impressive, to be honest. You know, he's been billed as a centre-half, but the way in which he played in the final third yesterday, I thought was really, really promising.
Yeah, I was really impressed by Hoover in particular, and I think Larouci did himself no harm. We mentioned Harvey Elliott there. Harry Wilson gets the third goal, and it's a blaster, and it's a thunderbolt. I don't know what you want to call it. It's a belter anyway. I mean, it's impressive to see, isn't it? And it's nice to see him sticking around. Obviously, a few of the lads haven't travelled to France. A few of them have gone back to the 23s. He's kept Harry Wilson there. I mean, first of all, there's a few comments after the game from Jurgen Klopp about him, but before we get to that, sort of, what did you make of his performance generally?
Well, I'm going to go with Rasper. I like Rasper, John, to be honest. A big fan of Rasper.
We're going with Rasper, everyone.
I'm going with Rasper for that one. I like Wilson, but I like him. I'm not going to say I don't like him as a Liverpool player. I just don't think he's very suited to what we do and the style in which we play. And I think if you were to ask Klopp what goal he's most pleased with last night, I think he says the first over the third. And there's something in, look, we love a long distance goal, and there's nothing wrong with them in football. They're great, you know, they're probably a bigger let off than most.
Yeah.
But the way in which this Liverpool team has evolved down the years, especially post Coutinho, because Coutinho was someone who always took on the responsibility of maybe shooting when he didn't have to, or shooting when the manager didn't want him to. The way in which this team has sort of manufactured itself to become this, you know, this machine in terms of chance creation and clear-cut chance creation, I don't think the manager's that overly bothered, is what I'm saying, about long-range efforts that a player picks up from 25 yards. I think he likes them. And I think Wilson's definitely got it in his locker. But like I say, I think if you're asking the manager, he says, well, you know, Naby Keita for the first goal plays that wonderful little ball and we've got players joining in the box and then it's a great finish from Firmino. I think that's the goal he's probably more pleased about in terms of the team and how they've got in a certain position to score a goal, rather than a young lad who's supremely talented and who's picked the ball from 25 yards and put it in the back of the net. That being said, there's no doubt that Harry Wilson does a job for someone, I'd say Premier League standard now, as maybe like a wide left midfielder or, you know, centre of a midfield three, right advanced of a midfield three coming off that left foot. I don't know, but I don't think he's got a home in this Liverpool side, is what I'm saying, and I think I'd be all right if he moved on.
The thing is, though, it's funny this though, because I am surprised how many people want to sell him, just based on the fact, well, we're not going to buy anyone. So, like, what, you know, why are we selling someone to have the money in the bank? And I think it comes down to almost kind of what's fair to the player, isn't it? And Jurgen Klopp says this in the press conference after the game. He says, we're in constant conversation, that's clear. We have to do the right thing for us and the boy. That's how it is. And I think it does almost feel like doing the right thing for him. Like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't sell him because we're not buying anyone. So, you know, £25 million in the bank for Liverpool, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather see a player just in case, you know, and we can use him, you know, in the checker trade and stuff like that, and you know, use him in League Cup games. And then if there is a bit of an injury crisis, then you know what you're getting for him. But does it almost come down to you then? Is well, what, you know, last year he was you know, starting for the team, going for promotion in the Championship, a decent club like Derby. He's playing every week. You know, he's playing real football. He's playing football that matters. You know, he's trying to get them up. Doesn't quite happen. And then I'm saying, all right, you can play checker trade for us. Exactly.
And the thing that always comes to me with this, and Kent as well, is that he's 22. We're not talking about someone 17, 18. He's 22. He's a young lad. But in terms of a pro footballer, the clock's running down already. Yeah. And the manager in his post-Napoli press conference really very, very casually just says, if we get someone who wants to buy Ryan Kent, they can. And there's a few gasps in there, and then he caveats it straight away by saying he's 22 years of age. Now, you've just said there, John, you know, what's right for the lad, and yeah. Wilson might have the frame of mind at the moment that, well, you know, I played 30 plus games in the Championship last year. I feel I'm at a level to play in the Premier League regularly. If you're saying I can't do it here, then, you know, I need to move myself. I need to go somewhere where, you know, a team not builds around me, but finds a position for me and then makes it work for me too. I can't just drop in left side of a front three. That is not my position anyway, just because, you know, you're in a checker trade trophy or you've got Northampton in the League Cup. It doesn't ordinarily work like that, and I don't think it's fair to him. If he's 17, I'm saying he's got tons of promise and we can maybe mould him into something a little different. I think at 22, you're having a different conversation.
We'll wait and see. There is talk that they're not willing to loan him out again. It's a permanent or nothing, looking around 20-25 million. So we'll see what happens between now and the end of the transfer window, which is a week today. So we will see on that. Just a couple of more things to mention. Loads going on the Anfield app at the moment. Obviously, there's all the transfer shows that are going. There's the free show going out in the morning as well. And I just want to mention the fact that there's a big sale on the Anfield app website. So if you go to theanfieldapp.com/shop, there's money off loads of stuff because we're trying to create a bit of space downstairs. So there's a few bargains to be had there. So if you want to get decked out in some decent LFC gear for next season, then yeah, there's worse places to look. Anything else from you, mate? How's Liverpool.com going?
Yeah, Liverpool.com's doing well, yeah. It's 3 weeks old now, I think. We launched on the 9th of July. Tons of written content on there, up to 5 pieces a day. We've got transfer stuff, we've got feature pieces, everything you want really. So yeah, it's going really well. Give us a shout, give us a look at Liverpool.com. Myself, Dan Austin from the Anfield app, Joel Rabinowitz and Chris Walsh from the Echo I run something there, and it's going well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the exit surveys myself, but you know,
like an exit survey?
I do, mate. Yeah.
I like the power rankings.
Oh, mate. I'm not into them.
No, not quite Ben Jono standard.
They just stress me out, to be honest with you. I'm trying to shuffle them around and I can't. You won't let me. They need to be interactive.
The first couple we had, I was like, he doesn't wear that number, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, you decide.
There you go.
If you let me know if you're a power ranking fellow or an exit survey fellow in the comments below. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for Dan coming in this morning, and for you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Reds.